Hello everyone, and thank you for coming to our channel. In today's video, we'll look at 5 ancient artifacts that scientists have no idea how they were created. So, let's start by watching the whole video. 5. Ulfberht swords. During the Middle Ages, swords were used by both infantry and cavalry in battle. They were also a sign of status and wealth, and none cost more than those with the mark of the wolf and the bird. We don't know much about swords, but we do know that they were made in the Kingdom of France, which included modern-day France and Germany, and was known for making the best swords at the time. The Ulfberht brand was said to have been the pinnacle of sword-making in Francia, making blades that were sharper, stronger, and more flexible than any other sword. This gave the user a big advantage in battle because they could rely on their sword to block attacks. The high quality of the Ulfberht swords comes from the way the carbon is spread out in the blade. Iron and carbon were mixed to make steel, but the right amount of carbon was important. Too much carbon made the sword brittle and easy to break, while too little carbon made it easy to bend. The Ulfberht swords had the best balance, so their blades were sharper and stronger than any others. Over the years, thousands of Viking swords have been found in rivers, graves, and excavations in Scandinavia and Northern Europe. However, only 171 of these swords have the mark of Ulfberht, which adds to the mystery of what some experts call the ultimate weapon of the most fears. 4. Piri Reis map. On October 9, 1929, a German theologian named Gustav Adolf Diesmann was doing research in the top-floor Capri Palace Library when he made an unexpected discovery. The Turkish Ministry of Education had asked him to make a list of all the non-Islamic books in the library. Diesmann asked to look for old maps and charts in the area. The director, Halil Edem, found the pile of trash and gave it to Diesmann. It was then that he realized the importance of what he had found: a unique map drawn by the famous cartographer Piri Reis. He gave it to the Orientalist Paul Karl right away so that he could study it further. Europe and North Africa were shown on a map from 1513, as well as the coast of Brazil and several islands, including the Azores, the Canary Islands, and the mythical island of Antilla. Most amazing of all, Antarctica, which wasn't discovered for another 300 years, was also shown. The most strange thing about the map isn't that it throws into question the order of several explorations, but that it shows Antarctica's topography in great detail without any ice cover, which hasn't happened in over 6,000 years. The accuracy of the map is mixed, and some parts are accurate and others aren't. Later in the 16th century, maps were made. The picture of Antarctica is especially interesting. How did a Turkish admiral from hundreds of years ago draw a map of a continent that has been frozen for thousands of years? 3. The Sacsayhauman Walls. When the Spanish conquistadors arrived, they were amazed by the size and precision of the ancient walls of success. The walls were built by people the conquistadors thought were too stupid and unintelligent to build such things. Each wall is about 360 meters long and 6 meters high, and each block of limestone weighs an incredible 300 tons. Amazingly, no mortar or cement was used to put the blocks together. Scientists have tried to make smaller versions of the Sacsayhauman Walls, but they haven't been able to match the joints of the southeast of the Sacsayhauman Walls. This shows how good the ancient people who built them were at engineering and architecture. 2. The Dropa stones. In 1938, archaeologists in China led an expedition that made an amazing discovery. They found that nearby caves had evidence of an ancient culture, and buried under thick layers of dust were hundreds of 9-inch stone discs with a circle cut into the middle and a clear spiral. The grooves on the discs were thought to be more than 10,000 years old, but it turned out that the spiral was made up of tiny hieroglyphs. When the discs were studied and translated, it was found that they told the story of spaceships that crashed into the mountains and were piloted by people who called themselves the Droopers. Russian scientists asked for the discs. For study, China sent a few of these stones to Moscow. In the famous Soviet magazine Sputnik, they wrote about an experiment in which the stones were put on a special turntable and made to vibrate or hum in an odd rhythm, as if an electric charge were running through them. However, the research wasn't continued, or at least it wasn't made public. Today, none of these stones are on display in any world museum, and all the research was done in secret. 1. The Baghdad Battery. The Baghdad Battery is an ancient artifact that was found in the 1930s in the village of Koyot Rubble near Baghdad, Iraq. It is a clay pot that holds a copper cylinder and an iron rod. It is thought to be from around 250 BC, during the Parthian era. The battery has three main parts. The clay pot is about 13 centimeters tall and has an opening at the top. The copper cylinder is about 8 centimeters tall and has a diameter of about 4 centimeters. It fits snugly inside the clay pot and has a small opening at the top. The iron rod is about 11 centimeters long and has a diameter of about 1 centimeter. It goes through the small opening at the top of the clay pot. The clay pots would have been filled with an electrolyte solution, like vinegar or wine, and the iron and copper pieces would have acted as electrodes. An electric current would have been created when the iron and copper electrodes were immersed in the solution. The Baghdad Battery is an important discovery because it is one of the earliest examples of an electrical device. It is also important because it shows that ancient civilizations knew about electrochemistry, which was thought to be a modern thing. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.